time for a reunion. Tell me everything you know right now. Hey everyone, and welcome back to chapter 31 EX. After the emotional roller coaster of chapter 31, the end of the Elysian Realm, we are here with this chapter. It is called Project Stigma. And yeah, I don't know what to expect, but I guess this interlude will give us more context to where we are heading next, because we have taken up such a long time in the Elysian Realm, and the chapters after that we watched some videos. I would say without further ado, we are heading into this chapter. I don't know how long this is going to take us. I mean, it has only 12 stages. There is a cutscene as well. I would say we will just start and see how far we get. If my camera is a little bit shaky, guys, that's because I have changed my lighting and now my light is attached to the desk, but it kind of makes my desk a little bit more shaky when I'm like dropping my hands or writing on my keyboard or stuff like that. So I hope you don't notice, I hope you don't mind. I'm trying to be careful, but anyways, with that said, I would say we will start. Let's go. Catching dreams. He was unfeeling and outside the cycle. In the eyes of his followers, he was like a will formed by vacuum. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean, but anyways, let's go. Oh, Raven. Oh yeah, I feel like... Did you guys say this in a comment that Kevin is still going on with like the Project Stigma? Like he still wants it to like go on? Oh, MEI.
あの夜、たまたま窓辺から星空を眺めていた私は、ふと不思議な感覚を覚えたの。
That is MEI, right?
まるで私が星空を見ているんじゃなくて、星空が
The sky was looking down at me. Okay, weird. Where are we? I thought we were with like Raven. What's going on? As with the tens of thousands of nights that had gone by, the cold, starry sky looked down at the man who was just as cold, Kevin. My boy. The starry sky was unfathomable. So was the man. He was unfeeling and outside the cycle. In the eyes of his followers, he was like a will formed by vacuum. Oh, so it is Raven. Or was that MEI before? Or was he just reminiscing about the past?
孫州聞いている。ジャッカルから報告がありました。ウサギのプロジェクトの実証実験が成功したとのことです。
Jackal told me to report that the Hare's project has passed validation testing. Validation testing and waiting instructions. What is going on, guys? The man eyed the mercenary in front of him in silence, as if this was their first meeting. She tensed up.
子供たちは落ち着いたのか?
Oh, they are talking about her children, right? Like not her children, but the children that she saved, right? Nagazora children stuff. She could not believe her ears. She had never imagined that her sire would ask about them.
先日、子供たちのためにキャンプの計画を立てました。みんな、キャンプで見る星空を楽しみにしています。そうか。それは確かに楽しみだろう。
Are they supposed to be like the Project Stigma? As usual, the man's words were emotionless. It awakened her to how wishful her thinking was. Wait, what? It awakened her? Okay, weird sentence. I don't know. What do I know about English, guys? Anyways, I wanted to say something about Kevin, but I forgot it. An owl in the distance hooted. Untimely, it reminded her of a grey serpent's funeral. Oh yeah, I didn't know that he killed himself. That was crazy. At the time, she silently watched the remains that somehow resembled corpses being systematically dismantled into a heap of featureless mechanical parts by a group of micro-robots. Like, what I wanted to say about Kevin is that now after their story and you guys have explained like a lot about the backgrounds, right, of like decisions that were made and stuff like that. And after like reading all of that, playing through the story, I do understand why Kevin is the way he is, you know, like Kevin is just a very lonely guy, so the only thing that he can trust in is himself and the promises that he made to his friends from the past, right? No. You guys already know that I play Honkai Star Rail, and this was also a little bit part of like the story of one of the planets. A nonsensical question, yet Isaiah had never spoken nonsensical to the mercenary's knowledge. She must answer it honestly, despite the confusion.
私個人の意見としては、鳥はもともと飛ぶことができます。だから、なぜなんて疑問は存在しないでしょう。
But not all birds fly, right? I mean, penguin are birds and they are not flying. Chicken, I mean, they can fly a little bit, right? A chicken can fly. A little bit, but not like birds. He remained silent, of course. Perhaps that answer did not satisfy him.
君は間違っていない。だが渡りガラス。子供たちの前でも君はその答えを口にするのか？
いいえ、あの子たちはそんな答えなど望んでいませんから。あの子たちの前だったら、そうですね。鳥は飛びたいから飛べたんだ。それは鳥たちが切り開いた運命なんだと。そう答えると思います。
I mean, birds would basically die if they don't fly, right? Except for like the exceptional birds that never flew. But like, I feel like some parts of birds, like some races of birds, do you say it like that? I don't know. I think they are supposed to fly because they would just die, right?
僕もそうであるように望んでいるよ。
Raven noticed his gaze. Obviously, he was not just saying it to her. It suddenly dawned on her that perhaps the whole seemingly impulsive conversation was so. Having gazed beyond her and into the distance, it was empty except for the boundless starry sky. Man. Stage 1 cleared. Oh, a week later, there is MEI. She's back, MEI. It was so sad.
渡りガラス、何か私に話したいことでもあるの？
I thought she was leaving. Up from the underground base to the lifeless surface, then along the shepherd's path into the ruined city. After a long silence, the Harsh of Thunder, who was no longer a member of World Serpent, spoke. Okay, so we are exactly after she left the Elysian realm. They don't really know what happened down there, right? So the whole because of you scene just happened for us. Raven shrugged.
この先には天命との境界線がある。本当にお前に何かを伝えたいなら、とっくに話をしているさ。
Time for a reunion.
クーちゃんたちは元気なのよね。
I think Sora is one of the children, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time, guys.
もちろん。というより、むしろ少し元気すぎるくらいだ。この間なんか別荘に帰ったら壁紙にいろんな落書きがあってな。その中に地面に転がってる棒人間がいて、それが私だってあの子たちに言われた。
I mean, they love her.
機会があったらまた顔を出すといい。
約束するわ。
ところで、
I wonder if we can see that if she really goes back.
連絡は入れたのか？
Oh.
まだよ。直接会って話す場面じゃなければ何を言えばいいのか。
I mean, I wouldn't
まだわからな
call
いの。
either. I would just go there and would say, Kiana, I'm back. Hi.
おや、こういう時だけまた昔
You're
の
acting
名
like
誉嬢
an
様に
heiress
戻ってしまう
again.
のか。はいは
I
い、
love
冗談
MEI.
はやめておこう。ここまで送ってきたが、別れはいずれやってくる。
Time for a farewell.
これからの道はお前一人で歩くことになるんだ。先に失礼するぞ。孫主自らに指名された任務がまだ山ほど残ってる
It's
んで
like
な。
crazy they are still going on with Project Stigma though.
待って、今ケビンが自らあなたに任務をって言ったの？
I mean, what do you think they were doing? Just stop?
想像できないだろ。私もだ。だが孫主の前で自分を過小評価するわけにもいかないからな。
Belittle myself.
とにかく、今の私の手には汚い仕事がいっぱいなんだ。ハイヘビに投げることも
On
できないし
which
な。
Grey Serpent though?
汚い仕事。
Dirty jobs.
いや、お前が思ってるようなものじゃないぞ。
They're legit
な
labor.
んというか、
I don't
ち
know
ゃんと
about
した
that
肉
guy.
体労働ってところだ。
ますます怪しく聞こえてるわ。
Yeah,
なんだ、
I could be
組織の
MEI.
一員じゃなくなったっていうのに、名お嬢様はヨルムンガンドの事業計画の心配をしているのか。
冗談を言ってるわけじゃないのよ、渡りガラス。もともと何かを急いでるようなケビンの行動に違和感を覚えてたの。このまま何もわから
Kevin
ない
has
状
been
態で戻
acting
っても
hastily and
全く助けにな
strangely.
らないわ。
おお、それでどうするつもりだ。
Wait, she's not going back?
あなたを尾行するわ、渡りガラス。
So we are following Raven. We are not. I wanted a reunion. What the hell?
へえ。
Yeah. Oh. What?
ハイペリオン軌道変更完了。中継信号追跡。
Is that the moon?
本艦は月周回軌道に入る。メインエンジン停止。
Why are they on the
よ
moon?
くやったわ、アイちゃん。ソルトレイク基地の指揮センターに接続して。
Theresa, what are you doing in space?
了解。やっほー、学園長。
Ah, Kiana. It's been such a long time.
キアナ予想外だったでしょ。朝ごはんを済ませた後、テスラ博士と交代するために
Man, guys. It's been such a long time.
こんにちは、テレサさん。うまくいっているようだね。
ええ、おかげさまで。出発する前にまさかハイペリオンに重力模擬装置を搭載してくれてたなんて想像もしなかったわ。
Okay, so what were you guys up to though the whole time?
お礼ならブローニャに行ってくれ。エデンの星の複製品を利用した区域重力システムの開発を
By
していた
utilizing
テス
a
ラ博士に
replica
協
of
力
the
してくれたの
Star
は
of
彼女だからね。
Eden.
つまりそれって宇宙にいても飛行機に乗るみたいな体験ができるってこと？
Interesting.
ええ、おかげで大気圏を飛ぶ今までのハイペリオンよりもずっと平穏だったわ。ゆうべはセーフレイヤーの職員寮に戻ったんじゃないかと思うくらい
That's
よく眠っちゃった。
I can't believe that these are actually the finality chapters right now.
お褒
Isn't
めに
that
あっ
the
たり
end of
光栄だ
part
よ、
1?
テレサ
Like
さん。
in some kind of way, right? Like after that, I feel like the chapters after are just like there are Seele chapters, right? And then we have like I feel like more Fuhua stuff where like Vita is coming in or maybe something I don't even know, guys.
ネゲントロピーの前身、天明の北米支部はエジソンが民間のために創立したんだが、エデンの星で民間用の機能開発を試みたのはこれが初めてだ。
エデンの星。
It's like crazy how different the technology from the previous era and from the current era are, right?
ブローニャが教えてくれたんだけど、それってネゲントロピーが天明から独立した時にとても重要な役割を果たしたんでしょ？
Well, I didn't read that visual novel, so I don't know anything about this. I mean, they talked about this before, right? I feel like I forgot the year when the separation was, but maybe I should go back and watch the visual novel or like read the visual. They are quite long. I think I started this one where like Choice was getting into like Schicksal and he was at a lab and then they started separating or whatever. I don't even remember anymore.
フリーダムトレイルに沿って行け。そして夜中にレキシントンを訪れ
Follow the Freedom Trail and visit
確かに
Lexington
エデ
at
ンの星がなか
midnight.
ったらネゲントロピーは今の規模にならなかっただろ
I mean, true.
う。天命と戦っていた頃のネゲントロピーの目的は最大の脅威とは行動しないことの一言にまとめられるが、
Okay.
そういう脅威に有効的なのは初戦の勝利という基礎だ。だから戦っても僕たちを全滅させることはできないと、当時の天命に信じてもらう必要があった。
Okay.
だからベルトは断りの律者の力で変装して活動してたんだよね。あのオットーを騙すのは簡単なことじゃないもの。
Wait, what? That's why Mr. Young had to borrow the power of the Hash of Reason. But Otto killed Welt's father, right? And how? Maybe I should have read the visual novel, guys. Wait. But what about Choice? When did he die? Wasn't it a eruption of like Honkai in Berlin or something? I feel like there were like flashbacks of that scene when Bronya and Welt had that very emotional talk, right?
ああ、でもどちらかというと、あの極めて難しい形成の中でネゲントロピーが徐々に立ち上がっていくことができたのは、フ
Okay.
ランク教授がいてくれたおかげだろう。
Interesting.
当時の僕たちは教授を頼りすぎてしまっていた。だから彼女が突如この世を去った後、ネゲ
Okay.
ントロピーは非常に混乱したんだ。
I feel so detached from like the actual Honkai story because it was such a long time that we spent like in the Elysian realm and with the Elysian realm story that I kind of forgot what was happening outside.
すまない、テレサさん。気づいたら昔話に夢中になってしまって、
It's
うっか
okay.
り
It
本題
was
からそれるところ
interesting.
だった。
構わないわ。ネゲントロピーの視点から歴史を分析する博士の話
True,
だ。
true, true.
あた断りの律者も空の律者も多種多様な可能性がある力を持ってる。ネゲントロピーと天命の経験を融合させたらチームとしてもっとパワーアップできるわ。
Like my question is because I forgot or maybe they never mentioned this, but my question is, do they actively want to strengthen their roles for them to go against Kevin?
確かに。
Do they see
そういえば、長光
Kevin
さんもエデン
as
の
a
星に
threat
とても
right
興
now?
味があるようだ。彼女の実験室と情報を共有し、共に第9の神の鍵の可能性を探ろうと考えている。
So we're happy to share information and discuss the possibilities of the ninth divine. Which one is that again? I forgot.
それってつまり今後全く違うエデンの星が見られるかもし
Maybe
れ
it's
ない
the
ってこ
Star
と
of Eden, right? I'm so bad, guys. I'm sorry.
あ、その可能性はある。各プロジェクトの進捗とともに協力レベルも上がってきている。願望としてエジソンがかつて考えてたムーンライトスローン計画も実現できそうだ。だからキアナ、せっかくの機会だし僕たちの宇宙演習を見学していくかい？計画によると今日は新宇宙砲撃と灌漑戦闘の2つを行う予定だ。
But what's that thing? Like, how do they know that they have to fight whatever last Herrscher there is, right? So it's always like the final Herrscher, but previous era MEI like told Elysia that these are just terms the humans made up, right? For like specification and stuff like that. But I forgot what I wanted to say. Ah, yeah. How do they know that they have to fight on the moon? Like, what is the thing that makes it important to fight on the moon?
面白そう。
I kind of missed the connection to that. Maybe they like explained this at the beginning of the game, but since it's been like, I think 3 years now since I started this game, I feel like I kind of missed the reason why fighting the final Herrscher on the moon is a thing. Maybe it's just for protection reasons that they decided to like go into space, fight the Herrscher there, instead of like on Earth where like everything is like getting destroyed during the fight, right?
アラン、デュランドルよね。最近彼女は様々なバルキリーの訓練にあなたを連れて行くだけじゃなく、
Durandal, aka the real Kiana.
出たって聞いたわよ。うん。天命最強のバルキリー。本当に優しくてすごい人だよね。でも、なんというか、もう少し訓練量も優しくしてくれたらいいのに。
Of course. I love that Kiana is slowly like turning back to her usual self. The two continued to chat until Schicksal's Hestia landed on the landing pad in the Salt Lake base. Kiana waved goodbye.
よかったわね。
Oh, she's still a projection though.
長空市にいた頃と比べたら、まるで別人のようだ。
She grew up a lot. She's such a strong personality in some kind of way, right? To like the carefree Kiana that we had in the beginning, the fighter, you know, she was like very quirky and very loud and also like thinking she's the strongest fighter. But after like her being kind of corrupted, right, by the Herrscher of the Void, like killing Himeko and all that things threw her in such a dark hole, and she needed so many good people to like get her through this. She was just so powerful. It's crazy.
若者の成長は早いからね。あっという間に親もびっくりするくらい大人になるんだから。
True.
ところで愛ちゃん、演習の準備作業はどうだった？ハイペリオンはいつでも行動可能だよ。
では、
愛ちゃん AI。
もう一度繰り返そう。僕たちが決めた計画書にあるように、今回の演習の目的は、ハイペリオン無人化回収後の新宇宙巡航システムおよび全自動作戦システムの検証、そして我々の指揮部門の戦闘配備能力を上げること。演習スケジュールによると、今日の主な演習科目は
Deep Space Gunnery,
宇宙砲撃、艦外戦闘、
Electromagnetic Silent Running.
まずは単独で訓練を行い、その後科目同士の連携能力を検証する。
Okay.
じゃあ艦外戦闘から始めましょう。愛ちゃんはその後の2つの科目に対して
Like, I'm always so surprised that people can even come up with this, you know? I feel like some people are so intelligent, they just come up with this.
どうやらテレサさんは演習をかなり楽しみにしているようだ。
後輩たちが成長していく姿を見て、先輩としてただ越されるのを黙って見てるわけにはいかないでしょ。
I wish we could see a reunion between MEI and Kiana.
確かに。頑張るのに老いも若きもないという言葉も。
We're all young at heart. I mean, you look young, guys. You should be at least my age. They should be much older, right? Aren't they supposed to be like 50 or something?
一般人が着用する
I'm not
宇宙服は
50, guys.
非常に重い。だから律者、融合戦士、精魂覚醒者だけが
Harsh
宇宙
mantises
で
and
敏捷
Stigma
に戦え
awakened
る
are
能力を持
capable
っ
of
ている。
agile combat in outer space.
それと
Okay.
無重力状態での考え活動は自身の動く方向をコントロールするのが難しい。そのため、重力模擬装置も
Okay.
そういう作戦に必要な条件の一つとなる。しかし、
Interesting.
それらの難題を全部解決したとしても、僕たちは宇宙の低温環境を変えられない。
The extreme cold in outer space. Well, Kevin has no problem with
だ
that.
から作戦スタッフ、つまりテレサさん、行動中にあらかじめ設置した熱放射装置から離れすぎないように、現時点の演習条件においては訓練用機構を仮想敵にするしかない。
Okay, now
長
I
光
have
さん
to
の実験がうまくいけば、もしかしたらより良いターゲットを実践訓練に導入できるかもしれない。
Why do you always
テ
explain
スラ
stuff
博士
while
は
I'm
それに興味
fighting
津
game?
々で、塩田相手にあらかじめ名前を
Isn't that
用意した
like
くらいだ。
her Godsbane
デスカトリ
battlesuit?
ポ
I
カから
already forgot the name.
一ロポチトリまで。
なんなの？
I'm freezing to
下の
death.
名前。
What the hell is happening? I need to stay inside of this. Do I have like where I see like hypothermia? Don't have it. Oh, I can't really stay outside. It's going so fast. Okay, I dodged. I didn't dodge. I go back in. So this makes it so much harder to fight though. Oh, wait, I'm freezing. I'm freezing to death. No, it's okay. I just need to dodge. Okay, we got it. I did it.
最終ウェーブの敵の設置が完了した。お疲れ様、
Okay.
テレサさん。
Good work.
館内に戻ってしばらく休憩してくれ。後ほど他の演習科目を再開しよ
う。Okay. Oh, I need to move. Me just casually waiting for the scene to go on. Oh, I have to go there. Interesting though. So we are preparing ourselves for fighting in space and stuff like that. But yeah. Anyways, I will not ask questions, guys. Yeah. I was about to say now you need like a bit of lemon juice, right? I was sailing right into a problem. Okay, what's up?
ここを見て。今朝からハイペリオンの実際の進路と理論的予測による進路にズレが発生し続けてるの。
Okay, that's bad.
そういうズレは最初はかすかなもので正常で自然な変動と大して変わらなかった。でも30分前からこの図表の一番右側だけど、ズレが系統的なものになってる上にズレ自体もどんどん大きくなってる。それってそういったズレがハイペリオンの正常な巡航に影響を与えてるってこと？今のところ手動で進路を矯正すればこの問題を解決できる。でもそれがずっと続いたら安全面でリスクがあるよ。最悪の場合、ハイペリオンは極めて危険な状態に陥るかもしれない。
Okay. Bad. But what is doing this? Oh! MEI story interlude. I don't know how fast we are progressing. At the edge of the Sahara Desert, MEI's stalking plan is going smoothly. Okay.
当たりガラス。こんな電波も飛んでないような場所で、ヨルムンガンド関連のスタッフがスマホの手配を希望したって。
I love that we are like switching a little bit of like POVs.
ほら、自分で見てみるといい。
Raven tossed the unopened box to MEI.
この箱に一体何が入ってるの？
さあな。私の意見が聞きたいなら、ただのスマホだと思うぞ。一般の配送業者に渡しても問題はないはずだ。
I don't know. What if Kevin knows? The listener took it literally. MEI tossed the box back to Raven. And in that interval, her left hand gripped the sheath at her side. It was one of the standard stances of Hokushi ni Toryo. A slash. When the box was back in Raven's hand, it had to split to two. Of course, Raven's glove and the phone inside were undamaged. The smell of ozone lingered in the air, proving that the Herrschaft Thunder had used her authority.
確かに普通のスマホね。電磁場にも変わったところはないわ。
I didn't know that MEI had such abilities. Electromagnetic field, like, bro.
箱は弁償するから。
I can pay for the box.
私はもうヨルムンガンドの一員ではないんだし、わざわざあなたたちのルールに従わなくてもいいでしょ。
True. We no longer need to do what Kevin tells us to do.
本音を言うと、今ならコズマの気持ちがわかるよ。
Don't mention him.
だがライデン・メイ、あらかじめ言っておくが、私にも職業倫理というものがある。もうヨルムンガンドの一員じゃないと、お前がそう認めたなら、私もこれ以上お前に話すつもりはない。
That's mean.
でも手がかりを教えることを拒んでるようには見えないわ。
Raven
そう
Truck.
な。たまたま同じ場所にいて、今までの数ヶ月間でちょっと仲良くなっただけかもしれ
And
ないけど。
got acquainted. You got attached to her.
ライデン・メイ。
Oh. May felt Raven had something to say. Her intuition was right, but she did not expect what she would hear. What he said.
やっぱり
Tell me.
教えておくよ。
Actually?
成婚計画はもう完成していると言える。
Okay, sometimes I look weird when I make that face. Okay, don't mind me. Project Stigma is complete in a sense. That is crazy. So they really are still going on. But how is it complete? Stage 2 clear.
今
Oh,
なんて言
okay.
ったの？
So we are going on like this. So we have now cleared stage 2, and there are still 9 left, right? What did she
だ
say?
から具体的な状況や原理はわからないが、今私がしてるのは
I'm likely
おそら
doing
く
the
成婚
finishing
計画
work
の
on Project
後始末だ。
Stigma.
正直に言うと、そう言われた時は私も驚いた。
おかしいわ。研究士の後、ヨルムンガンドは大規模な実験をしていない。だからケビンはただ行動の準備をしてるだけだと思ってたわ。
But what makes us think that? You know?
その考えが私たちの盲点だよ。
That's our blind spot. What's that supposed to
盲
mean?
点？どういうこと？ジャッカルが人体実験を諦めたの？それともハイヘビが慈善事業でも始めたとか？
Like, how do you go on with Project Stigma instead of like the Arc City
ウ
way?
サギだ。
Hair, this again. What's that?
ウサギ？
They are saying usagi, and usagi is the word for, isn't it the word for bunny?
この名前を聞いたことがあるだろ？
Hair.
名前くらいだけどね。
I don't get it.
問題ない。私も似たようなものだからな。
At first I thought they were talking about the moon stuff. But usagi is not the word for moon, right? But what is hair? I'm not much
ハ
better.
イヘビの話によると、ジャッカルがいろいろ試してた頃、ウサギも彼女なりに
Oh, that's a
全く違うやり
name.
方で成婚計画の実行案を練っていたらしい。
Okay.
そして私が話したように、今計画は全体的に
So this person was
最後の
rearranging
一
the
歩というところ
project.
まで来た。
But how?
それで彼女は一体何をしたの？
百聞は一見にしかずってやつだ。
Seeing
もう
is
少しでわかる
believing.
と思うぞ。
Raven counted a mess of number signs along the road and quickened her pace. 1982, 1983, 1984. After Raven knocked on the door, an old man in an... I don't know what that is. Came out of a ramshackle yard and took the phone from her. He put on a Bluetooth headset deftly and dialed a number on the phone. He then slid the phone into his pocket without a word and went to sit on a concrete pier in the yard.
何をしているの？
I don't know what's going on, man.
夢を待ってるんだ。
What?
夢を？
ああ、文字通りの夢だ。 ヨルムンガンドの技術を通して彼はいつでも夢に入ることができる。
What?
でもそれは成婚計画と何の関係があるの？
Yeah.
そう焦るな。すぐにわかるさ。
Bro, I don't want to see it. Just tell me. The old man sitting on a concrete pier in the yard had closed his eyes and began to snore. So they have technology that you can immediately fall asleep and dream. Is this some, like, I don't know, Matrix stuff? I have never seen Matrix, but I know that they are, like, going into, like, a different dimension or whatever, right? His body was gradually enveloped by a purple fluorescent light and vanished in the next instant. A physical entity, a living human, lost his unitarity in the real space due to some perplexing technology that was closer to magic.
これは彼の夢は聖魂空間と一体化した。それがウサギの言い分だ。お前は律者なんだから自分でその真意を検証できるかもしれない。
Guys, I knew that this was happening, that we are going back to terms that I don't understand. His dream fused with the stigmata space. So is this the stigmata space just a dream space? Is this like Sword Art Online stuff where you just like put yourself into like this different space and then you live there, or what? That's what Hare told me. You're a Hare, so maybe you can validate that. I don't even understand what's going on.
検証？
お前はさっき私が彼に渡したスマホを検証しただろ。
私は雷の律者よ。四季の律者じゃないわ。
ね。
そうだったか。だがついてこないなら私は先に失礼するぞ。
What is going on, guys? Raven walked to where the old man was. She took out her phone and swung it twice, and a familiar-looking space door appeared out of nowhere.
私を尾行するんだろ。この扉は10分ほど存在する。ついてきたいなら勝手にすればいい。
Is this some of the technology that Vilvi produced? Like we were, or I think it was with like Vilvi, right? Vilvi had something where we would enter the dreams of the other flame chaser or the memories of them, right? So we can confirm that they are not the culprit. I feel like this is something like that.
それと後始末も頼んだぞ。
The cleanup? What do you mean? Of course. Why are there still Hasha monsters? I feel like usually like, bro, they use so many like weird words that for me as someone who is not like English is not my native language, so I feel like sometimes very specific terms or like how they say something is like really hard to understand for me, so I hope you don't mind. I guess for someone who is like literally speaking English their entire life, it's like easier to understand this type of stuff, and like most of the things I do understand, especially if someone explains them to me in like an easier way. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. For hundreds of days and nights, similar space doors were almost part of MEI's life. Are we still talking about the Elysian Realm though? During the journey towards the past, okay, we are talking about the Elysian Realm, just play the game. They stood erect and silent, like pairs of weathered eyes observing joys and sorrows across 50,000 years. So, is that how we entered the Elysian Realm as well? But now this spacious door only made MEI feel an emotionless hollow.
何があってもここで止まることに意味はない。
So we are still not going back.
ヨルムガンド、何をしようとしてるのか。
Hash of origin MEI. Okay, back to Theresa.
ネゲントロピーと天命の衛星を使ってハイペリオンの軌道を集中的に調べたんだが、君たちの周りの空間環境に 検出できる異常はなかった。
Or maybe that is the thing that is like interfering with the Hyperion in space? Because Kevin in the previous era was also fighting on the moon, right? And I feel like they also entered the cryopods while they were on the moon, or at least in like close space to the moon, right? So I feel like whatever he's like doing, like Kevin has knowledge that we don't have, right? Like he knows of the technologies from the previous era as well, right? So he's very knowledgeable about like technology stuff, right? So I feel like whatever he's doing is like interfering with the space around like the Hyperion or Celine or wherever we are.
おかしいよ。自動運転システムも点検したけど異常はない。艦船が規定の進路から外れる原因が他にあるの
What
かな？
else can cause the ship to keep deviating from its set
機械的
course?
な問題があって、それが動力に影響を与えてるっていう可能性は？ありえないよ。ハイペリオンのメイン動力システムは全部プログラミング可能な玉鋼の素材に変えたし、問題があったらとっくに検出してるはずだよ。
Are the Celine and the Hyperion two different ships? They are, right? So we are clearly on the Hyperion now, going around the moon or whatever, right? And the Celine is the other ship, I feel like, where Einstein and everyone is like working on. It's a little bit confusing. I need a little bit of time to get back into this.
ああ、もしかしたらそれが原因かもしれない。
Okay.
玉鋼が問題なの？
正確に言うと問題はプログラミングだ。もしもの話だが、あるジャミング信号を
If an interfering signal is mistakenly received by Solium as a
機
command.
械システムの実際的な反応とコントロールシステムが予期した反応
Oh,
に
okay.
一定のズレが発生するかもしれない。そしてそのジャミング信号がずっとそのままだったら誤差もどんどん増えていく。テレサさん、新宇宙ではハイペリオンはそういった問題を自力で調べられない。
Okay.
直ちにまずは低軌道でネゲントロピーの宇宙ステーションに君たちを
Low
迎え入れて
Earth
もらう。
orbit.
その後、ハイ
Okay.
ペリオンの点検を綿密に行おう。
わかった。
So something's
仕方ない
fucking
わね。
about system.
このまま寄港するのは少し興ざめだけど、安全の方がもっと大事だもの。愛ちゃん、計画書にあった緊急撤退プランをもとに寄港を実行して。私も環境に残り必要な。
What's up? When Theresa got up from the captain's seat while giving orders to Ai-chan, she suddenly felt terribly dizzy. Extreme fatigue hit her without warning. That's bad. What's going on? And made her faint instantly. Oh god. Theresa, what's happening? Okay, stage 3 clear. Oh my god, PTSD. What the hell is happening? Of course, I had to take a screenshot. Around 50,000 years ago. Mobius.
やめたわ。あなたとオセロをしても全然勝てないんだもの。
そうだったの？多分その気になれば私に勝てる方法なんていくらでもあるでしょ。
What an interesting pair.
例えば自分の脳にオセロ用のチップを入れるとか？
Installing a chip for this in your brain. What?
それはあなたの好きなことでしょ。
確かに。でも別の角度から考えると君は本当に失敗が
Oh,
嫌い
we
な
are
んだ
getting
ね。
more.
メビ
I
ウス。
didn't expect to see them
君の成
again.
婚計画は何度も却下されているのに。
Project Stigma was scrapped so many times.
あれは私の計画じゃないわ。うまくいかないのはメイが頻繁に崩壊に勝つという定義を直してるから。
Okay.
彼女は昔から定義するのが好きよね。そう思わない？前回の5つの
I
平
don't
行
think the
心理
audience
に関する
understand a
報
word
告
she
だ。
said.
下
That's
にいたやつ
literally
ら
me at the
本
story
当に理
now.
解したとは思えないわ。
I mean, I do understand some stuff.
大事なのはあなたが理解してくれたこと。 そしてあなたの目の前にいるビルビーも
Is that MEI?
半分くらいは理解できているわ。
なら全体報告で話す必要なんかないでしょ。アーウィンってば必死に理石文学を理解しようとする小学生みたいな顔をしていてかわいそうだったわ。
Man.
どうして崩壊を定義しないといけないの？それを原始的な概念にして人類を定義した方がもっと
Aren't
便
we
利
the
だと思う
same?
わ。
A primitive concept, man. I don't know why would you define humanity like humans are crazy, I mean.
ビルビー、今話していたのは
It
あ
was
なたじゃ
MEI.
なかったの？
Oh. The con artist who could barely hold her laughter only shrugged in reply.
別にアーウィンたちにゼータ関数のような概念を理解してもらおうとは
Oh
思って
my
ないわ。
god, we are finally
すでに
seeing
触れたことがない知
previous
識を
era
理解す
MEI.
るときは時間がかかるもの。
Wait, I need to read. I'm not trying to get people like Alvin to understand concepts such as the zeta function. I don't even know what that is. Even Sue needs a lot of time to gain knowledge in a new field, Joe.
でもあの時はどうしてもしなければいけないことがあった。
Damn!
それは崩壊は理解できないほど神秘的なものじゃないってみんなに意識させること。崩壊はただ複雑すぎるだけ、それだけなの。
Isn't so mysterious as to be incomprehensible. It's simply too complicated.
きっと崩壊を定義することは人類を定義することよりずっと簡単だって。
There is Dr.
私はそう信
May
じてるわ。
from the previous era. I believe defining Honkai is far easier. Yeah. True. That is crazy. I love that we're getting like more MEI action. Yeah, they need to like convince me that she was actually a good person, and this is the perfect opportunity because I mean, we don't really know too much of like previous era MEI, right? But from what I have experienced so far, I don't know. She was not my favorite. I like the current era MEI more. But she looks more like post Honkai Odyssey MEI, right? At least her eyes.
こんばんは、メイ博士。
She got a model. Damn. Bro, they did not... What is this? Okay. Yeah, I need to concentrate. Hi, good evening, Dr. May. Damn, May. Well, no wonder Kevin likes you.
こんばん
No,
は、
sorry.
指揮者。
She looks so much mature though, right? So she's actually a real grown-up here. What the... And yeah, like hairstyle and eyes are way more post Honkai Odyssey, right?
この匂い、またカップ麺を晩ご飯にしたのね。
Nah. I like her outfit though. She looks great.
なに？そっちにだってカップ麺が好きな人がいるでしょ？
Well, Kevin likes them.
ええ。でも他に選択肢があるときは自らインスタント食品を選ばないと。そう。
そんな話は聞いていないわ。計画のバージョン15を取
Like
りに来たん
how
でしょ？
old is May
今サーバ
here?
ーにアップロードしたから帰ったら確認して。
Can you imagine that she took Kevin and hers like DNA or whatever to create a baby? That is crazy, right? Like they couldn't be together like that because of the surgery, because of his temperature, right? He was too cold to like even touch someone. So, damn, it must be lonely for both of them at this point, right? I mean, they have work, but A revision of the plan. I just uploaded it to the server. You downloaded it yourself.
メビウス、その姿になってからあなたは随分と短気になったよね。
どうして急にその話になったの？仕事に関して大事なのは何かをすること自体でしょ？人の容姿を批評して何になるの？
Have you sunk to judging looks? Bro, May looks great. I love her whole outfit. She looks so good.
どうやら彼女もあなたのマジックショーを見てリラックスする必要があるかもしれないわね、ビルビー。
わかったよ。
今度私がマジックショーをするとき、彼
please
女を招
don't.
待するから。
I'm on Mobius' side here. No magic show for me,
まあ
please.
いいわ。これ以上おしゃべりしたって時間の無駄になるだけだから。せっかく二人ともここにいるんだし。すでに15回も変わっている成婚計画の話をしましょう。
That's been revised
本当のことを
15
教えて
times.
メイ。
I mean, it's a very risky plan, right?
あなたは一体どちら側につくの？
Oh.
ん？彼女は今私のそばにいるけど。
ウィルビ
She gone?
まあまあ、ただの冗談だから。君が真剣に質問してるってことは知ってるよ。
Will we throw a spinning top onto the table meaningfully?
だからこそ場を和らげる必要がある。
She did not elicit a response. The top spun lonesome on the smooth table. A long time seemed to have passed, but the top showed no sign of stopping. Until May pressed it to a stop. This made Mobius realize that only a few seconds had elapsed.
メビウス、私は文明側にしかつかないわ。
What was that supposed to show me? Like the difference in how we perceive time?
あのじいさんたちと話す時の話術を使うつもりなのね。
A cliche to shut up those old
私の方が
farts.
先輩なんてバカバカしい言葉を強調するつもりはないけど、この話をしてる以上、メイ、あなたには説明する義務がある。ねえ、この計画で
So May was the only one who came up with Project Stigma?
なるほど。私が成婚計画に尋常じゃないほどの情熱を抱いているように見えるのね。
当たり前でしょ。
Is that also one thing why Kevin is so fixated on this? I mean, you guys have been telling me that Kevin is not very much into Project Ember because with the growing technology, the Honkai also grows, so he is more of like a supporter of Project Stigma, right? But I also think it's because he believed that what May planned has to be the solution, right?
成功率が最も高い解決策として真剣に扱う価値がある計画だからよ。未来へと残す糸口は大いに越したことはないでしょ。
本当にそうなの？あの大人気の火種計画には具体的な計画書すらないのに。
That popular Project Ember hasn't even been written into a one-page plan.
あなただって知ってるはずよ。あの計画はそれ自体の特性のせいで実行方法がさらに特殊になるんだと。
I mean, Project Ember is also a project that doesn't need too much specification, right?
そうかもしれないわね。けど、2社の差はあまりにも大きい。あなたの中で、
I mean,
他の計
Mobius
画
got
は
a
成
point
功計
here.
画のお膳立てでしかないと。
Wait, did she have glasses on before? No, right? She looks even better with glasses, man.
一つだけわからないことがあるんだ。事の経緯が本当にそうだとしても、
She did.
成婚計画の最初の発案者は君自身じゃなかったっけ、メビウス。
あの時、それを唯一の希望だと考える人がいるなんて。
I didn't imagine someone would see it as our only hope.
あなたにとっては確かに少し馬鹿げてるわね。理解できるわ。人類を再定義する方法はいくらでもあるんだから。
I mean, true. Redefine humanity. Like turning... Yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
けど、メビウス博士、人類は文明が誕生するための礎石に過ぎない。
She's on the side of civilization. She said that. So she doesn't give too much shit about humanity. Right?
あなただって否定しないでしょ。人類は所詮知恵を持った生き物に過ぎない。他の植物、動物、微生物と本質的な違いはない。
We are, because we have consciousness, or or sentience, what is the correct word for that? Because I feel like most animals, they live on instinct, right? They don't have thoughts. Same for like plants, right? They just live. They don't have a brain to like think, or you know, we have something to think with. Like even with a brain, you don't always have the capacity to like have thoughts, right? So
もっと正確に言うと、私たちの体は遺伝子が自分のた
our
めに作っ
mortal
た
bodies
貯蔵
are
器に
but
過ぎない。
vessels that our genes built for themselves. Crazy.
だったら何だというの？遺伝子でも輪廻でも誰にだって造物種に抗うポテンシャルがある。
Everyone has the potential to defy the creator.
文明？それは本当に具体的な誰かが作った奇跡よりも大事なものなの？
But for a civilization to be there, don't you need humans? Or is she saying we don't need humans, we have animals and plants, right? Because we are no different. So civilization, we don't need humans? I don't know.
でも事実
I
に
feel
即して
very
論じるな
dumb
ら
in these
ポテン
conversations.
シャルを
guys.
引き出せないのが人類の日常でしょ。
Hmm.
君自身という特例を基準にして全人類を測るなんてあまりにも傲慢だよ。
メビウス博士、火を追うがの一員として私たちは文明全体に対して責任を取らないといけない。
So I feel like humanity are just humans, right? Civilization is more based on there is more than humans to civilize the earth.
その意味から考えると、個体の命よりも命がもたらす真理こそがより本質的な存在なの。
The life of an individual, the truth brought forth by life, is a more essential existence. So she's saying no matter, yeah. She is saying what she said before, right? With the animals and plants, right? We are no different from them. So as long as there is some sort of life, that is more important than, you know, the life of an individual race in some kind of way. Or race, individual race, but in like humanity race, you know? You know what I mean, right? I don't really have the words to describe what I mean.
つまり誰がビルビーになったとしてもビルビーの才能こそがこの世界で最も大事なものってこと？
Bilby's talent is more important than Bilby's identity.
ああ、言われてみれば確かにそうだね。
I mean maybe.
それはあなただけよ。私はもう一人のメビウスにとって変わられるつもりなんてないわ。
I'm not so sure about that, Mobius.
大事なところはそこじゃないわ。子供と親の関係で考えてみて、メビウス博士。子供と親の精神世界が重なり合うかどうかはさておき、人類の文明は嫌がおうにも次の世代に続いて
Regardless of whether the inner world of two generations coincide, what? Yeah, I know what that means, but how do you say it? Human civilization is continued by the next generation. As long as they are having children. If they don't have children, oh my camera is weird because of the lighting. But if there are no children, then there is no next generation, right?
その親の意思とは関係なしにね。
Regardless of whether the parents like it. Stage 4 cleared. Okay, I would say we will do one more stage, and after that we will stop and do the next half in the next video. It is set in a far north country stood a majestic mountain. It was thousands of miles long and hundreds of miles tall. Once in 1,000 years, a little bird would fly to its peak and sharpen its beak on it. When the whole mountain was worn away by this, the calendar known as eternity would flip to a new page. What? Guys, I feel like I'm too confused for this today. I don't know what's happening. The heroes 50,000 years ago had long passed. The wound left by the finality seemed to have healed. The top on the smooth table Oh, so this is about the passing time, how we regained civilization, humanity, how we started everything again, right? Time seemed to stand still. Or rather, like the factorials of negative numbers, it had already crossed the pole at infinity in an analytic continuation and was regressing in the direction opposite to the origin.
あら、学園長、お昼寝の邪魔をしてしまいましたか？
Oh, what is happening?
昼寝
Oh, is that what Theresa is seeing?
まだ寝ぼけてるみたいですね。実は私も先ほど仮眠を取りました。
That is crazy.
学級担任って大変ですよね。
I didn't expect to see something like this. So, does this have something to do, like Theresa fainted? Does this have something to do with the fact that Raven was telling us about these like weird dreams? Like that world serpent can let you dream whenever you want to dream?
姫子、私たちは
Are we already dead?
どうしましたか？
Himeko.
いえ、ただよくわからないの。私、夢を見たのかしら。
It must be a dream.
ハイペ
面白そうな夢ですね。そういえば私も最近夢を見たんですが、ちょっとなんて言えばいいんでしょう。もしか
Himeko
した
also having
ら笑われる
dreams.
かもしれません。
That is crazy.
笑わないわよ。
それはどうでしょうね。受け持ったクラスの子たちが卒業して学校を出るときに生徒たちと私が抱きしめ合ってバカみたいに笑って泣く夢を見たんです。
Man, Himeko, don't tell me that.
それは考えてみたらよくあることじゃない。卒業シーズンになると
Isn't there like a graduation trip for Lakiana?
でも担任になったのも生徒たちが卒業するまでずっと一緒なのも今回が初めてですよ。
ね。
そう考えると結構プレッシャーを感じてしまいます。
そうよね。
I'm
問
getting
題児だらけだし
chills.
本当にお疲れ様。
I mean, it's kind of true.
そんなことを言ってくださるなら学園長、機会があったら飲みに付き合ってくださいね。
それは姫子がゴーヤ酒を飲めるかどうか次第ね。
Everything is bitter melon with this girl.
さすが学園長ですね。
True.
あ、待って、そういえば学園長が没収したワイン一樽まだ返してもらってないじゃないですか。
あれね、多くの木でできた樽でしょ。安心なさい。誰かさんがそれをウォーターサーバーのように使うのを阻止して量が酒の匂いで
Like
満
a
たされないようにし
drinking
なくちゃ。
fountain. That is crazy. Making a dorm reek of alcohol. Himeko.
まあいいでしょう。学園長、本題に入りますね。今年の体育祭の計画書、ここに置きますから。
I miss Himeko. Is that why they always implement like these flashbacks with her? Because everyone was missing her. The young redhead thumped down a stack of A4 papers in front of the principal. They bumped against the top that had been spinning freely on the desk, sending it flying toward the ground in a perfect curve. Oh. But that was on the table with MEI and Mobius. But when she got up, there was nothing in front of her. What is happening?
私、今、何が起こったの？
I don't know.
君は今、己の潜在意識を打ち破ったんだよ。
That is Otto.
おじいさま？どうして？
Why are you here in my brain? Go away.
緊張しないでくれ。僕は君の潜在意識の一つだ。君が自身を認識するために参照するものに過ぎない。
But how can Theresa be affected by the invitation of Kevin? Or like whatever Wilby was inventing with like Mobius and stuff like that. How, like she was in space. How can she be affected with this?
理解できたかい？喜ばしいことだよ。潜在意識のランダムな揺らぎの中で、君は偶然自分が夢を見ているという事実に気づいたんだ。
You accidentally discovered that you're dreaming.
つまり今私たちはあの老人の夢の中にいるってこと？
What is going on?
その通り。これがウサギの特技なんだ。
Dream catching.
彼女はドリームキャッチと呼んでる。
まるで式の律者だけが使える能力のように見えるわ。
そうだろ？だから前にあの件があった時に孫子はウサギを大巨山に行かせたんだ。
Okay.
でも彼女は律者に興味がないみたいで。お前も知ってるだろ？彼女がゆったりとあそこに現れた時にはもう。
Oh, so she was already on her way to Mount Taishan when we were facing the hush of sentience.
本題に戻りましょう。このすべては成婚計画と関係があると言ったわよね。
But how?
ハイヘビが言うには、今殺伐とした祭司が優しい夢の世界となった。
The bloody sacrifice becomes the sweet dreamland.
じゃあさっきの老人は？
彼はすでに自身が作ったこの夢と何の隔たりもない状態になってる。一体化したんだ。
He has become one with his dream. But how can he become? Is that what Kevin wants to do? Like spinning a dream so that humanity thinks that they live? But in reality they died against the Herrscher or what?
これも一つの人生の存在の仕方だろ。もう一人のハイヘビがよく口にしていた言葉。楼閣は空中に立てるべき。
So is that the
土台
whole
をその下に
truth
置くことが前提だが。
about like this project that instead of like sacrificing people, they just let them think that they live in a dream because what matters is civilization and not humanity. Isn't that what MEI said?
それってヨルムンガンドはメビウスが残した道をもとにして
Redefine humanity.
人類を再定義するつもりってことよね。
By like taking away humanity as a whole, right? I mean that is what it is, right? We are taking away humans from Earth because we know we can protect civilization in some kind of way, right? But we have to let humanity think that they still live on in this like weird dream world or whatever. That is crazy.
そうとも言える。今の成婚計画では、旧人類は夢という形で徐々につながり、最終
The
的に
old
新人類の
humans
成婚とな
will
る。
be connected as streams and eventually become the stigmata of the new human. That is crazy.
人を成婚にするの？
Why new? So Kevin gave up the possibility that we win? Or what? Because it feels like it, right? That's why he wants to turn humans into stigma for like the next current era, right? That is crazy.
その技術は私もよくわからないが、一つだけ確かなことがある。
It makes people
人
disappear
は
into
己
their
の夢に
dreams.
消え、現実と幻が入れ替わる。精神は物質となり、物質は精神となる。
That is insane.
普通の者たちが全部消えた後、ヨルムンガンドはそれを新人類に適した世界に改造する。崩壊エネルギーはあらゆるものの中で自由に流れ、律者は現れない。
That is actually crazy. So with this. They want to get rid of the I see, I see. That is crazy. Once the average old humans are gone, so he is not even... That is not true, right? That Kevin doesn't even think that we have a chance of survival here, right? Because it feels like it with this, it feels like he's thinking that we don't have a chance of survival. And that's why he needs this project to transform everyone that will not survive, right, into the energy, like the stigmatas that make it possible for the new humans to be not affected by the Honkai, right? That is crazy.
さっきと同じように、これもハイヘビの言葉だ。子供への脅し文句としても使えそうだな。私の理解で言えば、まるでもう一つの古の楽園みたいだ。
That is crazy. That is really crazy. So the old world has to become the new Elysian realm. That is insane.
人類の夢をすべて集
What
中
is
させる
that?
と巨人を手に入れられる。その姿は一つの星のようで、砂漠の地下からはアダム・ルハ
Are
ーニ
these the
と呼ばれ
gather dreams? If you gather all the dreams of humans, you will get a giant resembling a planet. A desert sage named it Adam Rouhani. Whatever that is. Adam? Like in Adam and Eve? Rouhani? I don't know what's that supposed to mean. But this is crazy. So we are creating, instead of like the Elysian realm, which was just a part, right? We create a whole planet, a dream planet. This is sick.
君のよく知っている言葉で説明すると、
Oh,
精神のアダムというものだ。
which means spiritual Adam. Oh, and I told you guys, I think before, if I didn't cut it out. Sometimes when I talk too much about Honkai Star Rail, I just cut it out. But I think I told you guys before that at one point in Honkai Star Rail, Welt was talking to Acheron, the XP or whatever, for like MEI in Honkai Star Rail, about Kevin, and he mentioned the spiritual Adam thing. That is crazy, but I thought like Kevin is supposed to be spiritual Adam, but we want to create this planet to become a spiritual Adam, right?
アダム・ルハーニーは天使だが、他の天使との距離はとても遠く。その距離は凡人からは時間と呼ばれている。遅れてきた永久。常識で越えられない堀。
So it's not the planet. But didn't they say you gather all the dreams and create a planet? But out of the dreams, there is a god? Or is it just for Kevin to become the spiritual Adam, aka the god of this dream world? Adam Rouhani is one of the gods, but it's extremely far away from the others. From the other gods? That distance, it was mortals called time. It's the late eternity and the rift that can't be crossed with logic.
人はアダム・ルハーニーを己の夢の産物として考えるが、後者にとっては人も同じ。
Humans see Adam Rouhani as a product of
我
their
々の寝言の
dreams.
ように、その言葉に現在と過去はなく、すべては未来になる。
Everything happens in the future, so it is finality. So Adam Rouhani is finality, right? Because I feel like in Honkai Star Rail, finality, terminus, the aeon of finality, aka a god, being, whatever, right, is also like this. Like time runs backwards for like finality, terminus. So it is not even like the sometimes the story is a little bit complicated, but from what I have understood is because time is running backwards, it kind of like splitted itself or something and like has these fragments in the past, you know, to be in the future, you know, to be like fulfilled in the future or whatever. It's like sometimes so complicated, you know, but I feel like it's the same here. Everything happens in the future with this like Adam Rouhani, right? So it is finality because finality's time runs backwards. That's why he's sad. The rift can be crossed with logic. The distance is what mortals call time. So it's far away. It's in the future. You know, when time passes, it will appear, right? So everything, makes a lot of sense. It can't die, think humanly, nor reproduce. It simply exists forever as the ladder leading to divine realm. Oh, so it is more like a bridge to a divine realm, right? That's the real aim of Project Stigma. Okay, I feel like I only understood it until the part with the dream planet. So I thought Project Stigma was to like create this planet for people to be the stigma of the next people, like this safe space in the future. But does this mean someone has to become Adam Rouhani in order to be able to create this planet? Because I thought with just like collecting the dreams, it is like they are able to create this planet. But I feel like with the dreams, they are creating like this Adam Rouhani. And then Adam Rouhani can weave the dream. But why? I'm confused. Like, what is happening here? Like, this changed completely to like, I mean, I do understand the premise of finality thanks to Honkai Star Rail and Honkai Impact being the same with like the finality part here, but I don't understand like the planet and dream thing, and then you have this god. Why do you need this god? Because the Adam Rouhani is living in the future. What does that do for us in the present? I don't understand.
殺伐としたものでも幻想的なものでも肉体的でも精神的でも
There are only means not ends.
それはあくまで手段であり目的ではない
Anyways, guys, let us continue because I feel
計
like
画の本質は
maybe I
自
will
分
get
を
to the
救えな
point
い
where I
者たちを
understand.
きつく縛り付ける一本の鎖だ
The plan is essentially a chain that ties people who can't help themselves
手を差し伸べる
together.
のも我々にとってはたやすいこと
We can let them go with the flow or help them within our power. What?
今彼らにとってこういった援助は盛大な夢だ夢の中で彼らはアダムとなり
Wait, they are all gods? For them, joining this dream is being helped. Let me think about this. So, they said Adam Rouhani is one of the gods, right? So, each one of them becomes a different one?
彼らにとって現実世界は意味を失い
While the eternal
永遠の
dream will
夢こそ
become their only
唯一の
reality.
真実とな
They
る
no longer think with time.
彼らはもう時間で考えることはない
But if you die, how can you continue to dream?
彼らの夢はつながり合い共に終焉を超える
Their dreams will be connected, which will create a true miracle that transcends finality. Is this a way to defeat finality because the final Herrscher is finality? I'm confused. But it's okay. It's okay. We get to the point where I will probably understand all of this.
一つの夢をもう一つの夢につなぐことで
So we are just taking a bunch of dreams, weaving them together to create this planet. And the people that have dreamed, like this is some Final Fantasy X shit going on here, bro. Like, and the people that have dreamed, they become gods.
想像できないだろ。ちなみにこれはまだ計画
There
の
is even
全貌
more.
じゃない。
Great. But how about you, Raven? Tell me if you want to become Adam Rouhani or someone else. I guess Adam Rouhani will be Kevin, but
ヨルムンガンドによって直接夢とつながることができる人は地球の人口からするとごく少数しかいな
people
い
who
から。
can be connected to the dream world by World Serpent are extremely rare, so not everyone can become a god in the dream
あ
world.
の老人はヨルムンガンドの信者の一人だったの。
Oh.
へえ、鋭いな。これ以上話してたら私の知ってることを全部お
Tell
前
me
に話
everything
し
you
てし
know
まう
right
気がするよ。
now.
もともとそうするつもりじゃなかったの。
Yeah.
そう言わないでくれ。今お前に教えたことはハイヘビだって教えるさ。
How do you know what he would tell me?
とにかく成婚計画は完成しつつある。このレベルの情報共有で制限を受けたりしないってことだ。
Is that why Theresa fainted? Because I said this before, right? But at some weird coincidence, she got stuck in this dream thing. Does she believe in World Serpent? I don't think so. Like, what the hell? But does that mean Project Stigma is almost completed? That they are already weaving this weird planet, space, godhood, whatever thing right now? Like, they are already finishing this up? Because the old man is dreaming, so I guess...
渡りガラス。あな
Do
た
you
は
really
本当
approve
に
of like people dying and the others are dreaming and like coming into this weird space where they are not really alive? I don't know. Raven held her index finger in front of her
やっ
lips.
ぱり今日はやめておこう。この
Why?
話はこれで終わりだ。
Stop being weird about
それ
this.
よりライデン・メイ、一杯付き合ってくれない
No,
か？
shut the fuck up. Tell me. Bro, what the fuck, Raven? What was that?
簡単に整理してみるわね。今私は自分の夢に閉じ込められてる。そして本当の私はまだハイペリオンで眠ってるって。
And how
そう言っ
does
たわよね。
consciousness auto know?
その通りだ。
じゃあこうすればどうな
How
る
do
の？
we escape the dream though? And how is it that Theresa got into this? She slid her hand against her throat. Oh, she's killing herself in a dream. Isn't that from a movie?
これが普通の夢なら、君は目を覚ますか、もしくは次の夢を見るのかもしれない。
But it's not a regular dream, right?
しかし、今の君の意識は明晰だ。
But since you're
だから、
conscious,
そ
you
の
risk
せいで君が
despelling
完
it
全に
instead.
消えるというリスクも存在する。
つまり私は思考を諦めちゃダメで、この夢のほころびを見つけないといけないってことよね。
Okay, I want to know
ここに
why
閉
the
じ込
hell
めら
you
れた
are
理由
even
を
in
知らなく
here.
ても。
You were on the moon.
その通りだ。だが、気をつけるんだ、テレサ。
Did Otto do this? Like there was a scene with like Vilvi Mobius and they said something about a chip in your brain or something.
これが君の夢なら、そのほころびも必ず君自身の弱
Its
点と
flaw
なる。
is bound to be your weakness.
気をつけてくれ。奴らが来るぞ。
What is going on? This is crazy. Oh, I'm fighting myself. Dark Theresa. Yo, this like spiritual Adam thing is crazy. And it's even crazier that Weld mentioned this like such a long time ago. I think it's been nearly 2 years now since this was mentioned in Honkai Star Rail. What the hell? That's supposed to be Kevin. Because of the ice. Parvati. Okay, we got it.
なるほど。A シリーズのクローン
Series
と
A
パールバティ。
clones.
これからどんな敵が登場するのか。
Oh, is that the Honkai
なんとな
beast
く
that
わか
was
ったわ。
used for her?
例えば、僕とか
Touches me. The answer was silence.
すまない。この冗談は口にするべきで
You're
はな
not
かった
funny
ね。
at all, guy.
君は
Go
まだ
away.
疑ってるかもしれないが、 僕は確かに君の味方だよ。
You're just a projection of my consciousness, right?
君の意識の奥に存在するオットーアポカリプスにも善意の半身があるはずだ。その彼はこう呼べるか
So
もしれ
you're
ない。
telling me that you're not the good part of Otto that I
鏡に映っ
imagined?
たもう一人の君
The
と。
other you in the mirror.
あなたから漂う嫌な感じはあの人とそっくりだけどね。
True, true, true.
鏡なのだから嫌われることもあるだろう。なぜなら僕たちの好む姿ばかりを映してくれるわけじ
I
ゃない
mean,
のだ
that's
から。
kind of true. That's why sometimes looking in the mirror is quite hard.
もちろん誰かのために弁解しているわけじゃない。一部の人た
Manipulating
ちにとっ
mirrors
て
is
は
an easy trick.
鏡を操ることの方が手慣れた技だからね。君が気にする本題に戻ろうか。この聖フレイヤ学園をベースとした夢を崩すなら、成功率が最も
The
高いのは
method that will dismantle
すでに起こ
Sanct
った
Freya in
現実
real
に従
life
う
would
と
really
いう
have the
選択肢
highest
だろう。
success rate.
教場エリア。
Dogma District. This was a name that had not been mentioned for ages. The place known as the Underground Central Church was where Sanct Freya received cutting-edge technology from Schicksal HQ. And where the Herrscher core inside Kiana roused again.
そうだ。あれは天命、ネゲントロピー、空の律者の三者が賭けをした場所だ。行こう、テレサ。何が隠されているのか見てみようじゃないか。
It's like still insane to me that this is the introduction to like the next upcoming finality chapters, and I already feel overwhelmed by the story because they are just, here is some EX chapter to introduce you to the next arc or like the final arc, and then they are bashing me with like information. I thought this was like a slow introduction
そういえ
into.
ば、
I think
この学園を引き継いだばかりの頃は、
since
それが
I
気
am
に食わなかった
able
の。
to play right
おや、
now, we
お
will
じい
stop
様の気
here.
配に染まっていたからかい？
ううん自分のために物にお金をかけすぎてる年長者がちょっと
Okay.
嫌だっただけよ。建設中の学園を初めて見たとき、私はこう思ったわ。何これ ?500 年前のパブリックスクール？
500
ウィーンの
euro
王宮
school
みた
for
いにしてど
nobles.
うするの？
でも今はそう思ってないんだろう？
Wait, this is based on Vienna?
慣れたからよ。フカが話してたように、すでにこれ来たれば、これを休んずるべし。宮殿でもあばら屋でも、実用的であればそれでいいってね。
I mean, I kind of see it with like maybe the buildings, like first district of Vienna, maybe. Okay, since I can give up now, we will end the part here. We will have to wait and see how long I'm going to take to get to this, because I really need to take time to talk in between, right? So it's a little bit slower, like the story progression, but I guess it's fine. I hope we can still start off here in the next part. If not, I will play until I reach this part again. So it says Act 105, Dream and Dream. So I guess this is interlude stage 5 or something like that. We will see. We will see. Anyways, guys, please, if it's not spoilery, you can explain stuff to me in easier words, please, and thank you. But I feel like there will be more explanation in the upcoming parts or part before we enter like the true finality, the true finality stages and chapters. But so far it's interesting, but it's like also confusing to like get everything. I really want to understand like what they are planning, you know, to like fully understand like Kevin's arc as well. And yeah, I don't want to judge him too like early on, you know, but I do get why he does some things, you know. It's like he's better than Otto. I don't like, it's hard to see Kevin in the same light as Otto, you know, because like Otto acted out of very selfish reasons, you know, very personal reasons involving Cullen. And I feel like Kevin is really trying to change things up for humanity because of the promises he made, because of the people he lost, right? Because of the life he lived, right? And I feel like it's not excusable for how he wants to treat humanity so far, but I feel like it is more understandable because he's trying to see the bigger picture while Otto was more like working for his personal reasons, like his own sole personal reasons. And despite Kevin not wanting to like be involved in everything when he was younger, right? He started to feeling that he wants to become a hero, and now I feel like he's now working towards a dream where he can fulfill the promises, as I said before, and also like change things up for humanity and have them, you know, even if it's just a dream world, he wants to make people happy. He wants the Honkai to go away as well. So he's just trying to find ways, and he's like solely putting all into like Project Stigma as of right now, what we have seen. Maybe this will change. Maybe Kevin is someone who like actually planned this to bring up herrschers like MEI that can defeat him, you know, like Elysia sacrificed herself as the Herrscher of Origin to give humanity hope, to give us a victory, right? And maybe Kevin is the same. Maybe Kevin found out more, and now he's trying to like give us this like whole opportunity to defeat like finality in some kind of way, or like gain access to finality, because like Kiana at some point is Herrscher of finality, right? So maybe this is what we are working towards to, right? The fact that someone can gain, like MEI gained origin, Kiana can gain finality, and in the end, with like the finality in and the origin as humanity parts, right? We are able to like change up the Honkai, defeat the Honkai in this kind of way, because we have people who can control the Honkai within themselves. Anyways, guys, that's it for this part. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, thank you so much for watching and for stopping by, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.